You may be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is the case of Williams, Mayberry versus Winn.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Good day. Mr. Williams, from the moment you saw Quenisha Mayberry, you believe that she is your biological daughter, even though the defendant claimed you are not. You hope today's results prove what you have known for 35 years. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Winn, you claim that you have never given the plaintiff a reason to believe he is your daughter Quenisha's father. In fact, you say you have always known who her dad is. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Williams, I'll start with you. Tell me about the moment you realized Quenisha was your daughter.
Well, it was the first time I saw her. You know, she looked like me, fair skin, and I just knew she was my daughter.
And when was this, sir?
When she, about a week after she was born.
Oh, right after she was born?
Yes.
You looked at her and you said, this is my daughter?
Yep.
Because you felt like she looked like you?
Well, she's fair skinned, I was fair skinned, her mom is dark, and the other guy, he's darker.
That's not a lot of criteria.
No, but I just felt, I felt it in my heart.
And most babies are very pale when they're born.
Well, I just felt it in my heart that she was mine.
So you really did? You had that feeling like, this is my daughter?
Yes.
And you've held on to that feeling?
Yes.
And so for 35 years, you've been saying, this is my daughter?
Yes.
But Ms. Winn, you say he's not her biological father.
He's not her father, Your Honor. Color don't mean nothing. You know, because he light-skinned and she light-skinned, the other guy is dark-skinned, I'm dark-skinned. That don't prove that he's her father.
It sure doesn't.
I know who's her father.
Well, it's
And
different when you got...
It's not Stanley.
Well,
Your
he
Honor.
seems pretty certain that it is, and I would like to hear his testimony. I want to start with the nature of your relationship. Can you take me back, Mr. Williams, and explain to the court what the nature of your relationship was with Ms. Winn?
Well, we was just close friends at one while. They used to live next door to me, and she used to come by where I used to work at probably 30, 40 times a day, just walking in front of the door to get my attention. And so, you know, we ended up, you know, we did mess around, but it was never a relationship.
So how long did this sexual relationship last?
I don't remember, like 4 or 5 months, something like that.
All right. So, Ms. Winn, how do you remember your relationship with Mr. Williams? Can you take me back?
I don't remember.
Wait, what?
I don't remember. I don't remember at all. If he said it happened, it must have happened. I don't remember.
So it is your testimony you do not remember having sexual relations with Mr. Williams?
No, Your Honor. I do not remember.
Do you remember walking past the store and trying to get his attention?
Yes.
So you remember both of you all were young and he was working in the store and you remember walking past trying to get his attention?
Yes, I walk past that shoe shine probably about 10 times a day.
That's what he
about
said.
50 times a day.
Maybe more.
And so
That still don't prove he's the father.
No, it doesn't. Look, she about to take my job, Jerome.
Sorry.
He said that don't prove nothing. No, walking past the store doesn't prove he's the father. You're correct. I'm trying to get to, do you remember him asking you on a date or meeting up with him later?
Your Honor, I don't remember none of it. And if Stanley knew he was to feel that he was a father, he could have did this test. He used to come get her, take her over to his house. He could have did it then.
Well, if you
You
didn't
want to
think
wait 35 years to do this now?
If you didn't think I was, why would you let me take your baby?
I didn't have a problem. I didn't have a problem. I didn't have a problem, Your Honor. I didn't have a problem him coming over taking my daughter, because like you said, we grew up together. He knew my family, I knew his family. I didn't have a problem him taking my daughter to his house.
So wait a minute, I mean, even though you grow up with somebody and you know them, that doesn't mean it's like, come on over and get my daughter and just take her. When would you take Quenisha, Mr. Williams?
Well, the first time I took her home to my mom, and I asked my mom, I said, do she look like me? And my mom said, yeah, that's your baby, Stan.
How old was she?
Quenisha had to be months old. She was months old. I used to go
And
get
you
her a
came
lot.
and picked up a newborn baby.
Yes.
And he wasn't no newborn.
Yes.
He ain't got no pictures with her being a newborn.
Not with newborns, but I used to go get her all the time. It was once I came and got her for like my nieces and nephews' birthday parties. I used to go get her so she can come and play with the other kids. And I would keep her the duration of the party.
How long did that last? How often was that?
Well, it wasn't often because I lost contact with them for a long time, but I was still looking for her.
And you've submitted to the court the one photo you've held on to over these years.
Yep.
So this is a photo of you and Quenisha.
Yes.
You took that together many, many years ago. She has to be, what, 3 or 4?
I don't remember how old she was, but yeah, that's one of the photos.
Well, Your Honor, he should have tested her when he had her when she was over his house like that. When she was 3 years old, he should have tested her. Why wait 35 years to do this? And I don't understand why Mr. Stanley brought me all the way here to get a DNA test.
For answers. This is something we was already talking about doing anyway. We just had a conversation probably last year that we was gonna go and get a DNA test.
And where does she look like him at? I don't see it.
So Quenisha, he claims you lost contact at some point. Who did you grow up thinking was your father?
The man that signed my birth certificate, like, I met him like twice. I don't feel like we have a connection. I definitely don't look like him. I really don't feel like that's my father.
Oh, you had no connection with him?
Nope.
And you've only seen him like 2 times?
Yep. And that was when I was like 18, so.
Yeah, I've been mom and dad to her, and I'm still mom and dad.
You've been a mom, and probably a really great mom, but she wouldn't be standing here if you were the dad and could really fill those shoes. You aren't, and that's why she wants to know who her father is. And that's no slight to you. I mean, you may have been an incredible mother, but she still has that desire to know who her father is. That's why we're here to support her and Mr. Williams and you to try to figure out what in the world is going on. I mean, I don't think I've ever heard a mom say, I don't even remember this person, sleeping with the person. Wow. And the dad be so sure that he's the biological father. This is a first.
Memorable.
So, Mr. Williams, back in the day, like when this picture was taken, were you running around saying, here's my daughter, Quenisha?
Yeah, that's how I addressed her. When anybody asked me about her, I'll say, this is my daughter.
Was anybody else saying, this is my daughter?
It was one situation where I went over to her house, and her and the guy, who's supposed to be her dad, was sitting on the porch. And I walked past him, and I went in the house, and the next thing I hear is bloom, 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 going down the stairs. The guy got mad at her and pushed her down the stairs because he looked at me and saw her.
If he heard somebody pushing me down the stairs, then why he didn't come outside? Why he up in the house?
Hey.
If I'm supposed to be the mother of his child, why he didn't come outside?
Hey.
If he heard me falling down the stairs. That's not true.
You bounced up fast. I don't know.
So how did you lose touch? I mean, it seems like you're picking her up, you're taking her to the birthday parties with the other kids, and how did you lose touch?
I lost touch with them because they moved. And then the last I heard Quenisha, she was staying in Louisiana. And I was just trolling Facebook and social media, and I saw one of her family members, and I was just going on each one of them until I saw it was a post on it that said, Cali reppin' Baby, and I punched on it, and it was Quenisha. And that's when I reached out to her. And I asked her to ask a family member who I am, and they told me.
Did you do that?
Yes, I did. And then I asked about, like, if he could be my father, and a family member was like, yeah, possibly.
Quenisha, what were the years like before you reconnected with Mr. Williams?
I mean, it was sad because, like, when she made me mad, I didn't have nobody to go to. And then, like, I had family members that would, tease me about not having a dad. Like, that's why you don't have a dad.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so hurtful. Mm-hmm. And so when you got that message from Mr. Williams, what did you feel? What were you thinking?
It's shocking. Like, because, my mom's supposed to have told me I shouldn't have to go to my family member.
I remember one comment she made to me. She said, I knew that man wasn't my daddy.
Oh, that other man.
Mm-hmm.
How did you know that?
Because we look nothing alike. Like, there's no connection there.
So, Mr. Williams, can you tell the court, describe for the court the experience reconnecting with Quenisha after 20 years. What happened?
Now, the only thing we talked about is just getting a DNA test and, you know, just to make it official. Even me and her mom, we even talking about going to have one. That's why I don't know why this sounds foreign to her right now, because we've had this conversation before.
But nothing never, ever happened.
But why are we getting a DNA test if nothing happened, though, man? Come on now, man.
Like I said, he's not her father. I know he's not her father.
Well, who is my daddy then?
What? I don't know. I don't know. It ain't Stanley.
But how do
The
you
other
know,
guy.
though? How do you know? What?
She don't look nothing like him.
Okay.
Where do you see the resemblance at? Because she light-skinned, he lighter than her. She look more like me. She's just a lighter version. You know,
I just always
we
felt
here
that way.
today just to find out if Stanley is her father, so we can put this all behind it. If this is your daughter, I can't give you the 35 years back. We just could go from here.
That's right.
And I see you now, Mom. I see the emotion in your eyes. What are you feeling now in this moment? What are you feeling?
I'm just upset. I'm hurt that it's taking so long, you know. It's my fault that I did this to my daughter, not knowing who's her father.
It's not that hard to just be honest. You can spend all day condemning Mr. Williams and everything he did and he didn't do when, you know, I knew this, and that's why I asked you, what was it? What were you really feeling?
I'm not mad at Mr. Williams because he did this. It's just like, you know, he just took so long to do it. We took so long to do it. We should have been and did this.
Right.
We owe this to our daughter, if this is his daughter. And basically, I want to know too, to get, you know, take a relief off of me, knowing that Mr. Williams might be her father.
Because the truth is, when she says, who is your father? When you say you don't know, that really is the truth.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to my daughter. I don't know.
And do you understand now, Miss Mayberry, your mother really doesn't know. And even though she may say it's not Mr. Williams, the truth is she doesn't know.
Yeah, I get that. I totally understand where she coming from with that.
So we're here now. Are you hoping today, Ms. Mayberry, that Mr. Williams is in fact your biological father? Do you believe he is? What do you feel?
Well, I'm hoping, because, like, I'm an only child. That means I will have siblings and whatnot. My kids will have another grandparent.
Can you look at your mom and tell her what you really feel?
Well, Mama, I feel like it's always been a piece missing. Like, I always had issues because I wanted brothers and sisters.
I know.
Take your time. Just be honest.
Don't cry, we're gonna get through this. Okay? I know. It's okay.
Can you finish what you wanted to say?
I don't know, I just want to find out the truth. I don't want to keep dragging it along. I just want to know, for me and for my kids.
And I have those results for you. Jerome, may I have the envelope, please? These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Mayberry Williams versus Winn, when it comes to Quenisha Mayberry, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Williams, you are not the father. I'm very sorry. I'm sorry I could not give you the closure you needed. Ms. Winn, can you remember, identify, think about any other person you may have been dating at that time?
It's the man that signed her birth certificate.
And so, Quenisha, well, I guess, sometimes we just have to find, like I always say, the magic in the mess. Like we hear the magic and the miracle of it is that his name's on your birth certificate and you know where he is.
No, I don't know where he is. And I prefer to keep it that way.
Well, listen, I know you've been through so much. And this particular hearing was to get you a level of closure that I hope you understand was necessary. And Mom, if there is another person besides this man on her birth certificate, instead of working her up to where she goes through this whole thing and tracks him down and he's not the father, if there's more than one possibility, so be it. Let's just lay it on the line. And I hope you get the answers and the closure you deserve, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Absolutely, honey. I wish you the very best. Court is adjourned.